Good afternoon, this is Mike Palmer from Mike Palmer Homes. At this stage of construction we're at, it's time to pour the driveway. Now, I apologize, every time I do a video there always seems to be a lawn tractor running in the background. So we're testing how this noise canceling mic will perform. Now, when we pour driveways, there's a lot of things we do, certain things we do for specific reasons. We've worked with these concrete contractors for well over a decade, so we've worked out the system and got most of the bugs out. Now, we originally had hoped to pour this morning. However, we had a good rainstorm this morning. It's all mostly dried up, so it's going to be poured tomorrow. Now, right here at the road, this is not quite complete. What we're going to do is this asphalt, cut a straight line there. So cut a straight line in the asphalt and just have a little lip where the concrete is just a little bit higher than the asphalt so that we have a nice straight line here. I don't like it when concrete's poured right up against there and it's got a jagged line. It's unsightly, and it also is a place where it can crack more easily. On these horns, we call these horns where the concrete flares out, that's where you turn in. We always dig that a little deeper to reinforce that because that's an area that gets a lot of traffic to try to avoid any additional cracking. See this curved 2x4 here? With these more gentle curves, we can use 2x4s, but when it gets to the tighter curves, we use another product, a PVC product. But the thickness of this is very important. So what they do is they run a string across here and check the thickness of the concrete all the way up. You can see it's nice and uniform. If you pour it thin, you will have more cracking. You save a little on concrete, but I've had guys pour thin driveways on me before, and tearing up a driveway that you've already paid for is no fun. Now, and there's also a steel mesh goes in here. It's like a steel grid. We call it a welded wire fabric, and that reinforces the concrete, because if you get a surface crack, over time concrete's gonna crack. So we try to do as best a job to keep that from happening as long as possible. And if it does crack, we don't want it to buckle. So when there's steel in there, even if it does get a surface crack, it's not gonna buckle up on you. And sometimes, tree roots can get under there, a lot of things. Now, see this, there's a trench here. We put PVC pipe under here. That is, so you have a conduit, you have a way to run, you know what you're gonna run under here. Some people run landscape lights, dog fences, sprinkler systems, Christmas lights, so you have a way to get something under the driveway. Same with cable. Sometimes the cable contractors can use this as well, so that they don't have to cut your driveway or bore under it, because sometimes you're boring under the driveway. If something goes haywire, if it hits a rock, it can come up above. Anyway, this gravel is all nice and compacted. You see they slope it, and it's very important with the way you slope a concrete, you want it to run away from the garages, run away from the house. So that's just something that the concrete contractors have to be very adept at doing. And I know the lead man on this crew has been doing this with the same company for 20 years now. So we have had very good results with them. Now, this is a PVC. You see that's called a radius. Oh, the other thing, at the end of a job is when you pick out your driveway. Now, we do draw plan a driveway out on paper when we're pricing, but sometimes when you get the house up, it's different. It's different than looking at it at two-dimensional. And you see, like these folks added some more here because they realized they're gonna have more cars than they thought. So they wanted to add some more space for the driveway. Now, when you pull in this driveway, you either have to be able to back out, so you have to have like a tail to back out and go straight down, unless you wanna back all the way down the driveway, which usually isn't all that comfortable. Or when you pull in, back in there, or you can back out and have more room for parking. But concrete's funny, no matter how much you pour, it's never quite enough. Anyway, and here's the sidewalk. See the nice uniform sidewalk. You got these nice radiuses that will work well for landscaping. You've got your gutter comes down to a nice heavy duty Schedule 40 pipe, rather than dumping all that water on the driveway or dumping it to wash your mulch away and having it go across the driveway. This way we pipe it out into the yard so it's away from the house. And with that heavy duty Schedule 40 PVC, if it ever does get clogged, you can run a snake up there and break it up. Now you've got two gutters in the flower bed here. This is going to be a big flower bed, so we've got 3 pipes, one for each gutter and one just in case, landscape light sprinkler system. You have a way to get across this concrete if you need to. Now we did a nice radius and it flares out wide to meet the steps. Now we've had that plywood on top of the steps to keep the mud off of there and protect it. It's looking kind of ugly now, but when that comes off and gets pressure washed, it'll look beautiful. But you see there's a red line snapped. That's going to be the height of the concrete right there. So you have uniform steps, and this will be a nice attractive sidewalk, nice flower beds. We usually try to make these 4 feet wide. That's comfortable. I've seen 3 feet wide, but it's not real comfortable. And then if you try to add on the concrete later, it looks like an afterthought. So that's just something to keep in mind if you're building a custom house anywhere. Make sure you leave enough room in the budget to get the driveway you want, because if the driveway doesn't work, man, I had a house where the guys messed up the driveway, and I couldn't sell that house forever. You know, we built a spec house, so I ended up tearing out the driveway, fixing it. Then we got a buyer very promptly. I mean, the driveway had a big hump in it, and their fiberglass cowling was scraping. We built another house where the house was up on a hill, and we had to be very careful the way we tapered in that garage, because the guy collected Corvettes, and he had these double-decker storage racks in his garage, and all these Corvettes, they very low to the ground, the fiberglass cowling on the front, and they don't want that expensive car scraping on the sidewalk. So just something you have to pay attention to, and very, very fortunate that we have some skilled and adept concrete folks working for us. Now, with that though, you're not always going to get the lowest bidder work, but I've had to tear out driveways from using lowest bidder work, and it's you know, not always ideal. So it's just something to pay attention to. You want the best bang for your buck, so that's what we strive to do. Now, back porch here. Let me see if we can get a good view of this. This is going to be a cool back porch. All right. Oh, and by the way, if you see anything useful here and you like what you see, we'd appreciate it if you could click the like button, although it's not cool to grovel for likes and subscribes, but it's part of the game. So if you find anything of use here and want to see our videos, please hit the subscribe button. It helps us get our message out. There's going to be a hot tub over here, and it's going to be the back porch. Now, they wanted this back porch to be level as possible without a whole lot of slope. Now, there's going to be a little pitch for the water to run off, but rather, see, we had to raise the dirt up here. We had to bring in fill and raise that and compact it, but we didn't want to do that any more than we had to. So we dropped this down. You see, this dirt is lower than the grade here on this side of the house, but so we're going to build here. This form is for a curb. So you're going to have a concrete curb here. We're going to pour that first, and then after that's done, we'll take the form off and pour the slab up to it. But anyway, that will hold the dirt back so the water can drain off around the outside of here. And so they're kind of robbing Peter to pay Paul. So you're just kind of splitting the difference and not making that too high, not making that too low. Now this is going to be from their back porch, and this is multi-generational. That's going to be mom and dad's back porch. This is going to be the married couple's back porch. They're going to have a hot tub here. Now you see this channel around the outside. It's really cool. They're going to put pea gravel in there. So you're going to have a nice decorative gravel in between here. So any spill off from the hot tub or splashes all runs down to that gravel. It'll almost be like a little French drain system to get the water out. Now this gutter comes down, you can see, nice PVC pipe, and it will come out here. And we can extend that or run it off through the grass so all the water flows away from the house. So that's, in a nutshell, what we have for concrete day. And these guys did a real nice, neat job with these forms. They always shock me how well they do it. This is a nice, neat radius here. This is a PVC flexible 1x material, and that's really good for radiuses. Anyway, we appreciate you visiting our site, and we'll see you on the next video.